Chef.
This is the Idaho Warriors podcast, Warriors Table, Ep.08, Season 1, the one that got away. And this is Chef Steve Murphy, back at it. Every great warrior has a love story. This is mine. September 24th, 2023, a Sunday, the little yellow church in Lincoln City, Oregon. The same one I told you about in episode 6. The one I walked into off the street because I heard how great thou art through the wall. I was deep in the forest of my own disappearance. No plan, no direction, just a man trying to find his footing in the silence. That Sunday, I saw her, Shannon, tall, blonde, mother of 2 boys, divorced from a local attorney, a woman on her own journey who somehow found me deep in the middle of mine. After service, some of the church family gathered for tacos, a favorite Mexican restaurant nearby. And in that small, warm, honest fellowship, I briefly shared how I had been handling my disappearance. Not the whole story, just enough to be real. Faith had led me to every single one of these moments. Church, the people, the tacos, Shannon. I could feel that there was a plan, even without having one. I got her number.
Cheers. Valentine.
And in true fashion, I waited 5 days to call. When we finally connected, something was easy about it. Natural, unforced. Many of the days before I returned home on October 9th were enjoyed with Shannon's presence in one form or another. A conversation, a walk, a meal. The kind of simple company that reminds a man he is still capable of feeling something good. She had her own story. An awful divorce a few years back. Years where she was not herself. She gave and gave and gave. And still, there was an emptiness that was hard to put words to. I recognized that emptiness. I had been living in mine. 2 people in the middle of their own rebuilds, finding each other in a little yellow church on the Oregon coast. And if that's not the hand of something greater, I don't know what is. My relationship with Shannon grew quite fond, and yet sometimes you can say it simply, right girl, wrong time. I was too deep in the forest to be open enough, to be present enough, to be the man that a woman like Shannon deserved to have showing up for her. Now, I already know what some people will say. They will say I was still married and that I ran, and that this and that. What they don't know is that those are the same people who have trouble picking up their own knives. And that is okay by me. I pray for my critics. I have learned more from them over the years than they will ever know. Every hater has handed me a sharpening stone. And I've used every single one. Shannon was a wonderful rose growing in the middle of my valley. And I'm grateful, genuinely grateful for her perspective, for her presence, for what she reminded me I was still capable of. Here's the lesson that I learned from that season. A man who cannot be honest with himself cannot be present for anyone else. Not his boys, not his business, not the woman who finds him in his forest. The forest was necessary. The disappearance was necessary. The little yellow church, the tacos, the 5-day wait, the phone call, the oysters, all of it was necessary. Because a man who has never sat long enough to feel something real cannot recognize it when it shows up in the pew beside him. I have so many lessons still to share about knife sharpening. And this one, a love story lesson, is simply this. You cannot offer your whole self to someone else until you have done the work of finding your whole self first. Shannon, if you ever hear this, thank you for being a rose in the middle of my valley, for showing up in a little yellow church on a Sunday morning when neither of us had a plan, for the oysters, for the conversation, for the grace. I
was not ready.
But I was grateful and am grateful today. Your assignment before episode 9, think about the person or the moment that showed up for you in your forest when you least expected it. What did it teach you about what you were actually rebuilding? Episode 9 is called My Father's Kitchen, how my father shaped me and how I'm consciously reshaping those lessons as a father of my own boys. The knives we inherit and the ones we choose to carry. I'm Steve Murphy. This is Idaho Warriors. Timer's up. Back to work. Tickets are coming in.